If you don't know me, I help entrepreneurs become the best version of themselves as well as aim to live their ideal lifestyle. A lot of the time that involves some travel, that involves expatriating, that involves tax reduction, that involves dating, it involves getting in shape, and it most certainly involves money. Money is what allows me to run an online business, to be in Mexico for the winter, one of the few countries that's open. This is during COVID. Before that, I lived in Eastern Europe, in Georgia. And before that, I lived in Asia, mostly in Thailand. And it's money that allowed me to do that, as well as having the right life game plan. And that's what I help guys do. And that's what I want to help you do in this video here, talking about why everything's an investment, and 99% of financial investments are garbage. Okay, I'm not talking about lifestyle investments like ordering a good meal that is healthy, that makes you feel good. I'm talking about financial investments, okay, as a financial investment. But the first concept to understand is that everything is an investment. When you receive money, okay, instead of thinking of spending that money, how am I going to spend this money? Think of how am I going to invest this money? Because that's literally what money exists for, to be traded for goods and services, okay? If it is an investment, right, it is an investment in a good or service, okay? Whether that's stocks, bonds, currencies, those are goods. Whether it's a financial advisor to help you make more money or a business coach like me, that's a service. So wherever you go, you're investing money, okay? There's no way around that. And that's something that should be like, if you haven't figured that out by now, if you haven't seen that in my other videos, that should be like completely game changing. Like buying drugs is an investment, and it's both a bad lifestyle investment and a bad financial investment. Most of the time, because very few people can have a good lifestyle on heroin. Ordering a pizza is an investment. It's how you invest your money. You are trying to buy happiness through junk food. That might be a good investment if you can limit it to once a week. If you're eating pizza every day, that is a bad investment, okay? Here's the thing. Everything you buy is an investment. The vast majority of those investments, 99.9% of them, if we're looking from the lens of is it a financial investment, are garbage, because that thing that you buy, that good or that service, is not going to make you more money in the future. Okay? That's how we're going to define a financial investment. A good financial investment will make you more money than you paid for it eventually when you sell it. A financial investment is an investment that you at least hope will make you more money in the future. Like that stock could lose money, but it's at least got a shot of appreciating. Okay? The pizza that you just bought has 0% chance of appreciating in the future. No one's going to want to buy your used pizza after it's been sitting out overnight. All right? So I want to define investments in a couple different ways. I also want to say that, we could look at, before we even get into the actual investments, we could look at like what you do with your money and define it sort of in two ways. So there's the disposable investments, right, which go pretty much to zero, which is paper towels, pizza, or food, anything that is small and consumed quickly. Once you buy it, it's pretty much hard to resell it. Like I'm sure you could get some resale value on toilet paper, and you certainly could during the COVID pandemic. If you really pushed it, selling it on Craigslist or something, you could have gotten something. But most of the time, when you buy goods, they are going to depreciate to 0%. Or if we're talking about, so that's like the first level of goods, right? Maybe their resale value is like 0 to 10%. The second level of goods that you buy let's say higher ticket items like the TV in the background, which isn't mine, by the way, or perhaps clothes, although clothes lose most of their value unless it's a rack of designer suits, cars, houses, yachts. The vast majority of higher ticket items that people buy lose at least 30% of the value the second you bought them. The second you drive that car off the lot, it's just lost 30% of its value. The clothes that you buy, man, they might have lost 70% of their value. Unless there's some designer suits, that's pretty much the only thing you can resell at a decent value, but it'd have to be relatively soon after you bought it because, you know, suits don't age particularly well. Fashion changes. You know, the TV, probably 40% of its value is gone the second you buy it, and continues to get worse over time. The phone that I'm filming this video on, I think is 2 years old. It was maybe 500 when I bought it. Maybe I could get 100 for it now, maybe. And I'd have to have a bunch of strangers coming through my house, examining it. That's just the nature of it. Okay, as a investment in lifestyle, as well as allowing me to run my business a lot primarily through the phone. This phone has been an amazing investment. I love the phone, but as a financial investment, something that will make me more money in the future, it is like everything else. Okay, so important for you guys to understand, and this is why so many fucking people never get wealthy, and they never get their business to where they can have a sense of freedom to do what they want, to be able to travel to Mexico and stay here for 6 months, to be able to go to the gym on a Wednesday afternoon like I'm going to, and to be able to do so many other things, is because they spend all their fucking money on bullshit. They spend all their money on investments that will lose anywhere from 10 to 30 to 100% of the value within the first week of buying it. Okay? And they don't save enough money and reinvest it into good financial investments. Okay? This is how you get out of the trap of having to work a job. As far as I'm concerned, 100K is the first level of affluence. All right? That's 100K in your own business. That's the first level of affluence. Unless you have that, you're still in the trap. All right. So I'm not even really talking to people like that. I'm talking to you. Either you're already a 6-figure entrepreneur, or maybe you're a younger guy, you're doing 5 figures, but you're on your way. You understand the game. And I'm just trying to reinforce this message into you. This is primarily who I'm targeting right now. These are the types of people that I'm coaching. Okay, because my coaching is not cheap. And I'm not looking for people who are cheap. I'm looking for people who want to invest in themselves and get a good return on that investment. I am one of the few services that, in my opinion, I believe can get you that type of a reinvestment. Okay. The other things that I consider good financial investments are business, either your business, another private business, or public businesses called stocks. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of stocks. I don't own any stocks, but these are at least investments that could make you money. And then we've got currencies. Foreign currency can appreciate against the US dollar, whatever your home currency or measuring currency is. For example, the Thai baht's been appreciating nicely for me over the last couple of years, the Thai baht that I own. You can also hold local currency and possibly make money, although it's not really the case anymore, if the interest you were getting in your bank account is more than the rate of inflation, which is almost never true. So almost always the currency that you're holding, your local currency, if you are holding in a bank, is losing you money. Okay, so let me just re-clarify that, guys. There is no saving money. There's just investing it in specific currencies, which can either make you money through the interest that you get in the bank or the term deposit or the CD, or its appreciation in comparison to your local currency, let's say the US dollar, or in comparison to the country you use as your measuring stick for your net worth, which for me is the US dollar, despite that I'm a Canadian. Okay, so I have a bunch of money in different bank accounts around the world in countries that I've lived in different currencies. I own Thai baht, Georgian lari, euro, USD, Canadian dollars in my home banks. Okay, and these provide a hedge against any particular shock to the USD, which is how I measure my wealth, as well as how I get paid. So I spread that money around, but it's not savings, it's investing in other currencies with the extra utility that I can spend that, as opposed to a house which doesn't have that utility. It has the utility that I can live in it, but it's very illiquid. So currencies are liquid. They have the ability to appreciate. For example, my Thai baht's been appreciating better than, even a junk bond fund recently because interest rates are so low. And they have the extra utility of being able to spend them. For example, I could pay for my future Airbnb in using my Thai bank card. Even though that money's in Thai baht, it can translate into Mexican pesos. And so it has that extra utility as I'm planning my next stop in either Guadalajara or Mexico City. If you have any advice, let me know in the comments. Okay, but just burn this into your mind. Burn this. There is no saving. There's just investing in currencies. If you have all your money, if you have your 100K, right, which is your safety net, all right, sitting in US dollars in Bank of America, you're invested 100% into the currency of US dollars. Your net worth is 100K in US dollars plus whatever you could sell your TV and your car for. Okay, but you are entirely invested in US dollar currency. You're not saving money. You're invested in US dollar currency and you're losing money. That is with certainty going to be a losing investment because of inflation, which is the depreciation of currency, right? By increasing the supply of currency, it depreciates over time. And by the fact that interest rates are so low, you're probably getting 0.2% on that, or 0.25% on the money you hold in your bank account. And we might even be going into negative interest rates. So you're losing on average about 3% a year, which is the average inflation rate. Now, deflation occasionally does happen, which is where the currency appreciates for brief periods in, say, the Great Depression that happened in America. But outside of that condition, unless you're getting more than 3% on your money, you're losing money. Okay? So there's no such thing as saving money. There's only investing money. There's only spending money. You're spending money. If you are buying a bunch of different currencies, just, as your $100,000, $300,000, $400,000 hedge, including bond stocks, whatever, those are all investments. And the primary investment you're making is peace of mind, right? Because ideally your business should pay your expenses plus a fair margin of safety, plus as much money as you can make without hating your business while you still love your business, okay? That's what your business should pay, right? And then what you're doing with the cash that you don't reinvest into your business is putting it into these financial investments that have what we hope is a good probability of returning you money in the future, primarily for peace of mind, primarily